Welcome to the True Grime Stories podcast, where in every episode, we'll unravel a new mystery of cleaning business transformation from a grimy mess to a great success. Join me, your host, Jeannie Henderson, as together we dig up cleaning business secrets that you've been dying to know. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of True Grime Stories. I'm your host, Jeannie Henderson, and I'm really excited to introduce you to a phenomenal cleaning couple, and it's Todd and Pam Northcutt. They're in Abilene, Texas, and their business, TNP Cleaning Solutions, has been growing steadily over the last several years, and I have had the joy of knowing them for quite some time and getting to watch them grow. And they've made quite a transformation in their business. And I think you're going to love hearing about how they did that. So to tell you a little bit more about them, they started in 2018, and they really didn't have plans for a business. They were starting actually a new construction and commercial cleaning business. But today, TNP Solutions now employs 9 cleaning technicians. They have 3 of them in the office. And their mission is providing quality commercial and residential cleaning services with a focus on client satisfaction. They are a married couple. And that's also another challenge that people have in running business when your partner is also your spouse. So that's a unique thing, but we see that a lot in the cleaning industry. So, and they've had a lot of accomplishments in their area. They're very active in their community. And actually, Todd has his own podcast where he talks to local businesses. And so we can share a little bit about that too. So welcome, Pam and Todd. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so excited. What's the name of your podcast again, Todd, if people want to check it out?
It is The Heart of the 325.
The Heart of the 325. Yeah. So Todd is shining a light on local businesses. I think that's a great way to just stay connected in your community and serve others. That's wonderful. So I've known Pam and Todd for quite a while and had the opportunity to coach with them a little bit over the years. And so I've seen them go through some challenges, and I thought it'd be great to share that with everybody today. So the first thing that we want to talk about, you two, is before I met you and when you were first starting out, when did you realize that this cleaning business thing was maybe more of a challenge than you thought it would be, or that it could be better, but you couldn't quite figure it out? What was it like then?
We were working 24/7 and just never catching a break. And I knew that we could do things differently. And I had originally seen Debbie back a year ago before we had decided to join, and just thought, wow, that would be incredible if we could do that. But we didn't do it then. So.
And it was just crazy then. I mean, it wasn't just 24/7. It was anybody that wanted us to clean whatever the mess was. We were like, yes, we'll do it. So it wasn't the type of cleaning most people want to do. If you were willing to pay us, didn't matter what time or what day, we were there to do it. We took anything and everything.
Wow. So you were cleaning all different kinds of cleaning, no matter what day of the week, no matter what time of the day.
Mm-hmm. Answering your phone at 10 o'clock at night or midnight, responding to messages. Yeah, we'll be there at 6 a.m. Sure. Why not?
So what kind of effect did that have on your personal life?
We didn't really have one. I mean, our life was just trying to grow a business that wasn't a business. It was 2 of us, sometimes 3 or 4 of us, just working all the time.
Yeah. So your grime scene basically is you started a business, but it ended up being a job.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And, as we often see, as entrepreneurs, we're harder on ourselves than we would ever be on an employee, right?
Yep.
So at that point, so how long were you kind of in that situation where you were, dealing with doing all the things that owners do, plus you were acting as technicians in your business? How long did that go on?
I would say 3 to 4 years.
So I'm assuming you were pretty exhausted by that point.
Yes.
And do you have a family too?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So how old were your
Well,
family?
my kids are all out of the house.
Uh-huh.
My
So-
youngest just graduated last year.
Last year, yeah.
Okay. So but you want to have relationships with your family too. And I remember that when I started out my business, I don't think I saw my family hardly at all for a year
Mhm.
because the business was growing like crazy. And I was like you, I took any job. I said yes to
Mhm.
almost anything except
Yep.
crime scene cleanup. I did not do that. But pretty much everything else I've done at least once.
Yes.
So you mentioned Debbie Sardone, and you had seen her. How long did it take you from the point you found out about that to actually like pull the trigger?
It was almost a year later, and I kept watching her videos that would pop up on Facebook, and
I
think
didn't watch anything. She talked about her every now and then, but at that time I was totally against Facebook. So I didn't see anything or like that. I just listened to her. She said we have this job. I said, fine, I'll do it for you. I'll do it, But,
yeah. And I think I don't know what the video was that we were watching that day, or I was watching, but we were doing a make ready on an apartment unit, and I was listening to it. He was in the other room, and I knew he could hear some of it, but that was the deal breaker there. Talking about not working in the field anymore and running your business and everything, and we were both tired. So
Yeah, that sounds like heaven, doesn't it? When you are like, you don't know when you're going to be in the field, you get stuck in the field a lot. And then you hear somebody say, you don't have to be in the field. As a matter of fact, you probably shouldn't be in the field if
yeah,
you really want to grow your business. I remember
yeah.
the first time hearing that going, oh, I'm not supposed to be in the field. I just thought that was what I was
That
supposed to be
what you're
doing.
supposed to do, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So,
And so you ended up talking to Debbie, I'm assuming, and joining Cleaning Business Fundamentals at that point.
Yeah, we were sitting on the couch one night and she said, I think we need to do this. And I was like, well, how much does it cost? And she told me, and I was like, if you think it'll work, fine, just do it. And actually she did it. Then she had a phone call, and 2 weeks later we were in Denver at retreat.
Oh, wow. So you joined right before one of the live events.
Yes. And
one
like
of those newbies that we meet
Yeah.
at our new events, like, oh, I just joined last week.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it was like you were starstruck the whole time listening to everybody and just like that. I don't understand how people are doing this, but
yeah, because you really hadn't had time to absorb everything
Mm-mm.
yet. You're just
Mm-mm.
hearing all of these stories, but without the meat of, how everybody got there.
I know not everybody will know, but we were listening to module 1 and 2 as we were driving to Denver from Abilene.
Oh, okay. Well,
So-
those of you who've been through the training will understand exactly what Pam and Todd are talking about, and they're probably chuckling.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's so cool. Well, so you get in there, you start learning. What was one big change that you made that was very impactful from where you were working 24/7, still in the field, really not having a structure to your business? You're kind of doing whatever anybody asked you to do. What was one thing that, like, once you started doing that really helped to fuel your growth or reduce the chaos in your business at that point?
I would say narrowing down the scope of our work and not chasing after everything, learning to say no to some jobs,
Mm-hmm.
and hiring better people that wanted to help others.
Yeah, that's great. So let's take those two things. So you talked about narrowing your scope of work, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to be all things to all people.
Mm-hmm.
And then also the right people on your team. Okay, so narrowing your scope of work. what are some of the things that happened in your business when you started to let go or say no or refer work to other businesses? How did that change, like, start to impact your business? What started to happen?
Well, immediately, like being able to say no freed us up to say yes to the right jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And
so what do the right jobs look like for you?
I mean, it's a regular home that people live in, and in all different sizes, different families, different pets, but it's just people that need help in their home, but it's not every home. We're not the people you want to call for a hoarding situation, or people trash the rental and there's 4 loads of dumpster stuff that needs to be hauled off. That's no longer us. That's not what we want to do.
Right.
And I think setting the boundaries, and she talked about hiring the right people. But first, I think one of the first things we did was write our vision statement for the company.
Yes.
After that retreat, and said who we were and who we wanted to be. And I think that worked for the work side and the right employee side, because we decided what it was that we wanted to do. So
what was that vision statement?
It's on the wall in there. I wish I could just recite it to you. I could carry you in there. I can give you a summary of it.
Yes. Yeah.
But we want to be the best cleaning company in Abilene, not only for our customers, providing them with a clean home, but for our employees, finding them a drama-free, positive work environment with the earnings they need to make. Mm-hmm. That's kind of a rough version of it.
That's great. That's great. So still sticking on that right customer, right job kind of idea. What are some other criteria that helped you trim your customer list? One time versus recurring, location, size of house. Like, did you kind of start to identify, like?
The first thing that we truly let go was the new construction of bigger jobs, because that was a big thing that we were doing, 200,000 square foot schools. And I mean, did all the new construction cleans on new schools around the West Texas area. So we were traveling 2 hours a day, or actually 4 hours a day, to do the job and come back. And so that was a big cut.
Those jobs are tempting though, right?
Yeah.
Big money.
Tempting, but I mean, overall, it's not worth it at the end of the day.
Right. So, did you find that you were profitable on that? Were you charging enough for those big jobs?
We were very profitable on that, but the people you have cleaning new construction cleanup aren't the same people trained the same way to go in your house and clean it on a regular recurring basis. Mm-hmm. It's two different. People say cleaning's cleaning, but that's not true.
It's a really good point. It's not.
Levels of it.
And it's different people.
It is. It's entirely different people. And those people want to work for a couple weeks and then be off for a few weeks. And you can't grow a business around people that only want to work every now and then.
No, you can't. No, that makes it, that adds a lot of chaos to like, oh yeah, I don't want to work this week, so I just won't. Yeah. Well, and I think that's a really great thing for our audience to understand, is that we can't build a business and be all things to all people, and not, and every type of cleaning requires different types of training. Mm-hmm. And it's really difficult to have one person be all those things or enjoy that type of work. Mm-hmm. Post-construction cleaning is a completely different animal than recurring house cleaning.
Yes, it is.
And it's really hard to build a schedule around that, because it's random and they're usually behind deadline, so they're changing the dates on you at the last minute, right? Exactly what I'm talking about. And the painter's in there while you're trying to clean and and then they come back and they do work and there's more dust stirred up, but you get blamed for it and all that kind of stuff. Like I did post-construction for a while, but then recurring, like when you're doing post-construction, they're making your schedule for you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But when you do recurring cleaning, the schedule you choose your schedule. You decide where those clients get scheduled, and you can build a regular schedule from that. So that, I'm sure, has reduced chaos for you tremendously right from the get-go.
Yes.
Yes. And it was that and the boundaries to set that we're not going to answer the phone call after 5. We can wait. It can wait till tomorrow, and I think people go, well, I can't do that. I don't want to lose business. And I don't think you lose business. I think you gain respect because, this is when we're working. This is when we're not.
Yeah, that is so true. And, I know when I first started with Cleaning Business Fundamentals, that first thing that Debbie said to me was, do one thing and do it well,
Yep.
And that boundaries thing is it's so freeing. We don't even think we're allowed to do that as entrepreneurs. We think like, oh gosh, well, I have to be available. I'm going to lose the sale if I don't answer the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad you shared that because it's not true.
It's not true.
It's not. Well, I think this is a great spot to stop for just a second, since we're talking a little bit about Cleaning Business Fundamentals, to hear a message from our sponsor, Cleaning Business Fundamentals. Is your cleaning business a grime story? There's no need to stay stuck in the muck because you're not alone. With over 500 active members and more than 500 graduates of our Cleaning Business Fundamentals program, CBF is the #1 cleaning business academy in the world and has created more mop-free millionaires than any program in the industry. Learn more and let CBF take your residential cleaning business from a grime story to a gleaming success. Well, we heard from Pam and Todd sharing their story about being a business that is all things to all people and realizing that they, as entrepreneurs, can take control of their business. And I love that you two shared that you created a vision first before you did that. And I think so many of us just kind of like, and you probably did in the beginning, you just jump in. You don't like, well, I'll think about that vision thing later once I get my feet wet. So you shared that vision, and then you talked, not only is it the right customer and the right job that helped you reduce the chaos in your business and took you away from working 24/7, but you also mentioned something else that I think is a gold nugget: the right people on your team. Mm-hmm. So tell me what your hiring process was like before and how it changed.
Our hiring process before was if you showed up, you got to work. I mean, it was pretty simple.
Like can you come on the job today?
Yeah, it's like if you're willing to work, just come on out. We'll pay you at the end of the day. Just come help us.
And were you using contractors at that point?
We were in the beginning.
Okay.
And, we learned quickly that we should not be.
Right.
And so then we set up. It was really kind of basic in the beginning, just like 10 questions to ask people. Just really basic, and still even fine tuning that. Now I have 19, but it's a lot more. I used to ask like, can you use a broom? Can you just can you clean? And now I don't ask any cleaning questions at all. It's all personality questions and just questions on how people think about different things, and we make our decisions off of that because we have a culture that we've built, and you have to want to be part of that culture and want it to grow and be prideful of it. Otherwise, you don't fit.
That's so great. I hope everybody is listening to that, because a lot of times we think it's about what people can do or what they have done. Like they look for experienced cleaners to be on their team and things like that. But you're looking for what's in here.
Yep.
And, and also, how they think about things and what a big difference that must make.
It makes a huge difference. Because you can teach anybody to clean. You can't teach people how to be good people and get along with others.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And when you set that standard by sharing your vision and your values and your culture with people, you're kind of setting an expectation of you're setting some boundaries for your team members as well of the expected behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in the cleaning business, because many of us do like what you did in the beginning, we just hire anyone who can clean.
Yep.
we end up with all this drama in our business because we,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
Do you have a good drama story that you can share?
I don't know if they're shareable in the terms of.
That's why I said that you can share, because I know some of them can get a little crazy sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, just people that think, you wouldn't have this company without me, and
Yeah.
they're my customers, they're not yours, and I'll clean it the way I want to clean it. And no, they're not your customers, they're our customers, and you are part of this team. But there's not one person here, us included, that's bigger than anybody else. We are all part of a team, and if we're not working together to make the same customer happy, if you're like, they can't do my house, it's not your house, it's a job that we have to do. And we've had several of those that kind of carried on too long and created drama. And it's amazing how one person affects everybody, even though they're not working with them on a day-to-day basis. It affects the entire office. It affects different cleaners, and it just starts spreading. And we've learned how to, lack of a better term, nip it in the bud now. We don't, if it happens, it's over. It's just not allowed. The culture is too important.
That's so great. You're protecting your culture. And, that bad apple, ruins the whole bunch. And, and it happens fast.
Real fast.
And I think we're all guilty of keeping people too long, and it's so great that you mentioned that. Like, I mean, the second you start to think somebody's not the right fit for your team, you're right. But, we let it go on too long because we're afraid we won't be able to serve our clients or whatever. So now you've made all these changes to your business. You set your vision, you created boundaries around your time, you defined your market, and who you're going to serve and who you're not going to serve. And now you have the right people on your team. So from your grime story in the beginning, where you were basically an employee in your business, to today you're a leader in your business, what's that feel like?
I think it's pretty rewarding to see where it was to where we are now today, and to see how we've grown.
You have grown tremendously.
And
your growth has been huge.
Thinking that we would never be where we are today. I never thought that. I never thought that running a business would be as hard as it is, but it is challenging, but I still thoroughly enjoy it. My heart is still in to help people, customers, everybody.
How has your personal life changed now that you're not, a 24/7 employee of your business?
I would say it's, even being married and working, we ride to work together every day. We sit in the office together every day, but we can separate business to personal. And I think our relationship has actually grown stronger. I would more so in the last probably year, 2 years, because we can separate and we don't have the friction of when we were working out in the field like we did.
That's great.
So
how about you, Todd? How are things different for you?
I didn't jump out of the field like she did, because that's what we needed, was somebody out of the field to really create the business. I stayed in and ran like our deep clean side and didn't want to come out. I wanted to keep working. And I just came out. It's been almost a year now.
Good for you.
Out of the field. And we just have more of a life now. I mean, work is work, and it's fine. We're open 8 to 5, and we're here 7 to 5, 7 to 5:30. You still put in a lot of hours people don't realize, but we also do things, outside of work. We don't work when we leave. Work is done. It waits until tomorrow. we've been able to pick up some hobbies and do stuff. And next week, we're actually taking our first non-work vacation, because we considered all the CBF trips vacations,
Mhm.
and you don't really relax on those. You take those, you study.
Right. Your brain is very engaged. Yes. You don't get to unplug.
And this is going to be like our first non-working vacation that's more than a 3-day weekend
Mhm.
in those 6 years.
Oh, that's so great. Well, that is a huge
Yes.
win right there. Congratulations. That's one thing I hear from cleaning business owners all the time is like, I just never get any time off.
Mhm.
And so what are you doing for your vacation, if you can share? What kind of fun thing are you doing?
We're
Is
going
it
camping.
crazy?
Yeah,
You're
we're
going-
going camping. We're and cell phone service does not work. It's by the
Nice.
river, and we're just gonna sit by the fire. We're gonna fish. We're gonna relax. We're just gonna unwind.
Oh, that sounds heavenly. I'm a campfire girl, so I can
Yes.
totally relate with how wonderful that will be. So congratulations. I'm so happy for you both. Well, and like I said, I've seen tremendous growth with both of you, and congratulations on becoming CBF pros. Now
Yes.
moving up in the program, and I just think the future is so bright for both of you. What's one of your dreams for the future? What's something you see in your future as your business grows and changes?
To be honest, for me, it is less time in the office.
Yeah.
I mean, still being involved without having to be here every day, because we've learned to implement processes and develop systems that don't require us to be here. I can do most of what I want to do on my laptop or my phone and not be in the office. But to just have even more freedom. Like, I think we have enough time freedom now
Mhm.
to be happy, but it would be really cool to have even more.
Yeah,
'Cause
time
there's
freedom.
other things to dabble in,
Mhm. Well, and I know you're both, creative people and want to try new things. So that is what time freedom allows you to do. But I love that you shared that you are still working hard, because that's okay. Being a business owner doesn't necessarily mean just unplugging and your business runs by itself. Actually, that usually is not the case for a successful business.
Right.
Right. The owner does have to be involved, and the businesses that don't make it are often owners who try to do it without day-to-day involvement. So it's great that you're giving your business that attention right now, but I know that in the future you will achieve that. You're definitely on your way, and this vacation is the first big step.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you both for sharing your grime story with us today, because you shared so many great strategies that business owners can learn from, that we don't have to be all things to all people. And we choose the right people to be in our business, and that changes everything. And you guys are a great example of, jumping into the business wholeheartedly, but finding it was more difficult than you thought it would be, and then making tremendous changes in your business that now have given you time freedom and less chaos and a bright future. So congratulations.
Well,
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for sharing with us. And I want to encourage our entire audience to, watch or listen to what Pam and Todd shared today. Check out their website. You'll find that in our show notes. And make sure, if you want to know more about cleaning business fundamentals, I would love to talk with you. And there's a link in the show notes today to get connected. Make sure to share this and save it. And be sure and join us again for our next episode of True Grime Stories. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Is your team culture helping your business grow or holding you back? If you have a great culture now, will it remain positive even if you're not in your business every day? If these questions hit home, it's time to discover Culture Magic, a proven recipe and system for building a positive, thriving team culture that runs strong even when you step away. Click the link in the show notes to learn more about Culture Magic today. Your dream team is possible, and it starts with Culture Magic. That's a wrap on today's True Grime Stories. Thanks for joining us in uncovering the secrets of cleaning business success. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and download, and check out our show notes for links and info from today's episode, and to learn more about our sponsor, Cleaning Business Fundamentals. Join us next time as we solve another True Grime story.